Steinberg Cubase LE comes bundled with a bunch of different hardware, and Cubase Elements is the next upgrade after LE and AI. And recently I was asked, is it worth it to do the upgrade? So in this video, I'm going to look at Steinberg Cubase LE versus Cubase Elements 11, and then I'm going to let you decide if it's worth it for the upgrade for yourself. I'm Zane, welcome to Audio Tech TV, where it's my goal to help you conquer the tech so you can unleash your creative beast. And just so you know, this video is not sponsored. I purchased the upgrade to Cubase Elements, and I have no affiliation with Steinberg as of the recording of this video. Now, first let's look at Cubase LE and see what it's all about. It's a free piece of software that you get with various audio interfaces and hardware recorders, and I think I've gotten like 4 different licenses for it. And basically you get the same audio engine and workflow of Cubase Pro, but there are some track limitations and you don't get all of the same features or plugins. But it is a great piece of software for a lot of us home studio musicians that don't require a lot of fancy stuff, and we use third-party plugins anyway. But Cubase LE does come with 23 effects, and these are very nice effects, including a guitar amp sim. You also get a couple of instruments like the Halion Sonic SE synth, and you also get Groove Agent SE, which is a great drum instrument. You also get the chord track and chord assistant that can really help you compose your songs. Now, some of the main limitations of Cubase LE are you can only have up to 16 audio tracks, 24 MIDI tracks, and 8 VST instrument tracks, which is actually quite a bit, maybe even more than most of our laptops and computers can handle anyway. Also with LE, you can only have 8 physical inputs and outputs. Again, this is plenty even for recording drums. This will be fine. Plus, there's no comp recording in LE, which is a feature that's very useful, but it's also not available in Cubase Elements, so comparing the two, it's not really a factor. So if you purchased a piece of hardware that does come with a Cubase LE license, you might want to stick with it, as it is a pretty powerful OEM DAW and you can create great tracks with it. Now let's look at some of the features that you unlock when you upgrade to Cubase Elements 11. With Elements 11, you have a much higher track limit, as you can have 48 audio tracks instead of the 16. You can also have 64 MIDI tracks instead of 24, and 24 VST instrument tracks instead of just 8. So already this has opened up your projects for more possibilities. And in addition to that, you also have up to 24 physical hardware inputs and outputs. So if you're like me and you like to use outboard compressors and EQs and mic preamps, and you still want to have open mic preamps on your audio interface, this allows you to do that. With Cubase Elements 11, you get the same instruments as LE, but you also get another instrument called Prologue. And this is an analog style subtractive synth. So with the drum instrument and the 2 synthesizers, you're really ready to create some great tracks. And another thing to note here is that with Cubase LE, the combined number of sounds from the instruments is over 185, but with Cubase Elements, that number increases to over 1,000 sounds. So let's quickly check out all 3 instruments right now. Cubase LE includes 23 VST effects plugins, whereas Cubase Elements 11 includes 47 VST effects plugins, and these are all really high quality, great sounding effects. And one of my favorites that's included with both LE and Elements is the Grungelizer. This is a lo-fi plugin that can add some noise and static to your tracks. It can be a cool effect to add every now and then to a few tracks here and there. And another effect that's included in both LE and Elements is the Amp Simulator, which is a nice, easy to use guitar amp sim. But with Elements, you also get the VST Amp Rack, which takes this to another level, with more amps and cabinets that you can choose from, plus you also get some stomp boxes in there as well. There are quite a few other plugins, and really, you could easily create music using only the included effects and instruments if you wanted to, but of course you can bring in third-party plugins into both LE and Elements. And one other thing to note about Elements is that it allows for side chaining. LE does not. Plus, in Cubase Elements, you get the Arranger track, and I enjoy using the Arranger track in any DAW that I use. It can save time and easily help you to arrange your song the best way possible. Cubase LE doesn't give you this feature, so this is a great bonus in Elements for me. And there are several other differences, but these are some of the big ones for me. So back to the question, is it worth it to upgrade to Cubase Elements 11 from Cubase LE? Well, that all depends on your needs. Do you need those extra tracks, the added hardware inputs and outputs, that extra instrument, and all of those added effects that you get, plus the sounds that you get? And is sidechaining something that's important to you? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you might want to consider upgrading to Cubase Elements 11. Typically, you'll get the upgrade offer for $50 to upgrade to the Elements version, and really that's not bad considering everything that you're getting in one of the industry-leading DAWs. So only you can answer that question if it's worth upgrading. For me, yes it was, and I'm actually considering doing a video where I record a song and I only use the stock plugins that are included with Cubase Elements 11. So if you're interested in that, let me know down in the comments and I'll create that video. If you're not interested in it, then I'm not going to create it, as it takes time to make these videos and I don't want to create something you're not interested in. Now, if you are interested in seeing what the best DAW for you might be, click the video on the screen right now, or click the one under it to see what YouTube recommends for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating, and we'll talk soon.